Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Auburn Blitz. I am David Jones with my good friend Jeremy Jeffcoat here, JJ, as everybody knows him by. Welcoming you in again to another edition of the Auburn Blitz. As always, we are brought to you by J. Smith Construction, Mortgage Pro, Big Fish Real Estate, and A Man's Paradise Russell Do-It Center.
There you go.
Coming in today with a lot to talk about. We'll start with last night, JJ. I was playing a gig last night at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery. Did not get to see a minute of the game.
It was over early.
It was.
Yeah, it was over early.
I did get to watch half of it last night when I got home. That was enough, probably. It's funny. I was playing Monday night at the Marriott Grand National in Opelika, and the Missouri team was staying at the hotel. I saw big Kobe Brown out in the lobby. That's a big boy. And was talking to one of the athletic personnel. I said, man, y'all are catching us at a really good time. We're just not playing very well. And he said, well, we're playing as good as we could play right now. But he said, we take a lot of chances on defense trying to get steals.
Yeah.
And sometimes we pay for that. But that was just a wave the white flag game for them last night.
Well, it was, but it's also a reminder of something we know, and I think people tend to forget, right? Auburn's got a really good basketball team.
Yeah.
But they've just been inconsistent really all year, and a little bit up and down, especially with shooting. Defense has been pretty solid all year. Yeah. Shooting's been just kind of hit or miss. Yeah. And but it's a really, that's why, a week ago they were still projected as a 6 seed. Now I don't know where that'll come out. When next week comes around, we'll see. But I would think this Missouri win's certainly going to help. I think if Auburn can, coming down the stretch, they're 8-5 right now, so you got 5 games left. If they could come down the stretch, win 4 out of 5 down the stretch here, finish 12-6. Yeah. I think they'd be sitting in pretty good shape for at least an 8 seed, I would think.
Yeah, it's still too early to tell. I'll say this, Brett made some really good points. I was pretty hard on Auburn Monday on the show. I was just so frustrated. I've always been a, stop the ball, in the lane, a mentality type of guy, and that wasn't our game plan Saturday. Our game plan was to take away the 3, and then they got 44 points in the paint. We've been missing shots all year.
Right.
So open shots. So I wish, that had turned out differently Saturday. However, it was good to see us play Alabama that close and really have an opportunity to win like you just said. We won for our last 10 shots.
0 for 8, I think, over the last 4 minutes or so, And that kind of shooting will hurt you every time.
Big game for them tonight, and of course I know Bediako's out, but I think everybody will be watching.
Is he officially out?
Well,
it was day-to-day yesterday.
Yeah.
I will say this: if you're Alabama, you don't have to win this game tonight.
Yeah.
This is not a do or die kind of game. Yeah. So if you can get Charles Bediako's knee healthy, I'd probably rest him.
Well, don't tell them that you're not supposed to win that game tonight.
Yeah, no.
Got to be number 1, and now.
No, look, I understand. I guess what I'm saying is,
right.
You lose that game. You lose that game on the road tonight. You don't have Bediako, and you kind of run it the rest of the way. You're still a number 1 seed, and you're still playing in Birmingham.
Yeah. Now, if you lost to an Ole Miss or somebody, that's a different
story. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, JJ. Just looking at the stats,
I still don't know if Tennessee has enough offense to win this game tonight.
Speaking of a team that's not been playing well, it's Tennessee. Of course, they'll have that building full to the rafters tonight, and That's a 6 o'clock game. I don't know if it's on ESPN on the regular.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. But look at the numbers from last night, JJ. On our side, we shot 49% from the floor, 50% from three, 9 of 18, and just really shooting free throws well lately, 16 of 20 for 80%. You're looking at the rebound discrepancy. We out-rebounded them by 22 boards last night. 21 assists to their 10. We did have 15 turnovers, but that's what they do. You know, they want to turn you over. 5 blocks, 9 steals, 42 points in the paint last night for us, and 23 points off of turnovers.
Well, I think you take a look at that points in the paint. That 42 to 24 is a big discrepancy there. Rebounds 48 to 26. You know, I always tell Andy, if you look at field goal percentage, rebounding and turnovers, I can usually tell you who won the game. The turnovers were about even, but the rebounds and the field goal percentage was not.
Well, yeah, that's correct. And from an individual standpoint, you know, all of us, Brett, Randy, myself, Andy, you, we've all talked about, you know, we just don't have that killer. Well, Wendell Green's the closest thing we got to a killer. And the complementary pieces have just been inconsistent. But you look at last night, I mean, Janai had 20. Allen had 16. Welcome to the offensive party, K.D. Johnson. I mean, 15 points last night. Jalen had 9, Cardwell 8, Berman 8. Zep Jasper even hit 2 threes. Wendell, 5 points.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Wendell Green's a point guard.
Yeah.
I know he's a scoring point guard, but last night he had 9 assists.
Yes.
9.
Yes.
That's running the offense.
Yeah.
And Wendell Green, for all of his wonderful qualities, has a tendency to play hero ball at times.
Yeah.
And, where he just wants to take every shot, and you just can't do it that way. And late game especially, there's been some really bad decisions on that. Spreading the ball around, 9 assists in a game. If he can continue to get 6, 7, 8 assists a game, this team can win a lot of games. It can't be Wendell Green goes for 24 and 1 assist. No. It can't be that.
But here's the thing, though, JJ. Last night was a perfect storm of everybody playing their role and contributing where Wendell didn't have to. There have been games where if Wendell wasn't scoring, we weren't scoring. But that wasn't the case last night when you look at the stat line. That's a true point guard stat line. You know, 24 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Because everybody else was putting the ball in the basket, and that hadn't been the case. And so I'm thankful that Wendell has had to put up has been able to put up those numbers some games, because other guys just have not. But I mean, if we can keep this up and get that kind of a contribution from everybody, I like our chances in these next 3. Those last 2 are going to be a challenge, but we really need to win these next 3 to improve that seed and kind of get back in some talking points.
I think if Auburn can win the next 3 and split the last 2, that would be the ultimate goal. That would be 4-1 down the stretch, and you feel pretty good about yourself going in the tournament.
And that'd be 22-9 going into the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
And so I've talked about this, and Brett made a good point. You know, it didn't happen for Texas A&M, but normally when you tank at the end of the season, they tend to punish you a little bit. You know.
Oh yeah, no question. So look, in this schedule, a couple of things to keep in mind. Kentucky, I know Kentucky's only 7-5 in the league, but I'm telling you now, I expect Kentucky to go to Mississippi State and get a win tonight, even as an underdog.
Right.
Kentucky is, and Vanderbilt, and I've said this all year. Vanderbilt is better than their record.
Yeah.
That's a team that can play a little ball. You saw it when they beat Kentucky the other day. So that's a team that can play. You got to play well to win these games, especially at Vanderbilt and at Kentucky. Ole Miss is a dumpster fire, but you can win those other 2 on the road. Those would be big road wins, and to get you to 11-5 going in those last 2.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. It's kind of funny, it was Valentine's yesterday, and they gave out the love and basketball T-shirts. I thought that was pretty cool, and there's still they're still talking about the 94-foot putt for the car
Yeah.
that happened at the Alabama game. The kid was at the game last night. They said he still hadn't gotten his vehicle. They're still in the works on that. But I think Marty Smith tried to do it last night, and I didn't get to see how close he came on that. But it was a great night in Neville, and we talked about this. You know, Brett said this too, that last night was pretty much a must-win game, and they came out and just absolutely took care of business.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, we talked about it, me and Randy talked about this, how you finish, or maybe it was me and Brett one of these Wednesdays, but how you finish, Auburn literally could go anywhere from a 6 seed to an 11 or 12 seed.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I don't think Auburn's going to miss the tournament unless they just, you know, lose out or something. I don't expect that to happen. But, you know, how you finish will determine where you fall in that 6 to 12 range, right? And it's a whole lot easier to make it to the Sweet 16 or beyond if you're 6, 7, 8 than it is if you're 10, 11, 12.
That's exactly right. And the other thing is where they send you, JJ. You down in that seed, they may send us to Spokane or something.
That's right.
You never know. So, but great win for the Auburn Tigers last night. Absolutely a must-win. Just thrilled to death at the production that we got offensively all the way down the line, and that's what we've been preaching and harping about here on the show for weeks now. So good to see that. Hey, we're going to take our first break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more of the Auburn Blitz. Glad you're with us today.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz for segment 2. And we got a couple of comments, JJ. Tyler's letting us know that that game tonight is on ESPN2 at 6 o'clock, Alabama and Tennessee. Steve says he wishes that AU would play Traore more. You would hope that a 5-star player would contribute more. And did I see Westry on the bench last night? I didn't see him at practice Friday before the Alabama game. I could have missed him, and I don't know if he was on the bench last night. I didn't see that. Steve, the reason that we just Johans just hadn't taken yet. It's just one of those deals, and
I'm with you. Say I hope I would hope that a 5-star would contribute more early, but you can't force it. If it's not there, you can't force it.
No.
You gotta wait for him to come along at whatever pace he's going to come along.
Well, and that's the other thing, and Caleb and I have talked about this, Caleb Brooks. The star system just drives me nuts sometimes. Even they miss on some guys. Maybe they missed. Maybe Johan's just having a lot of trouble adjusting. He's a great kid. I've talked with him, love him. Bruce loves him to death. He's a good teammate. We just wish that he could, come on and make another country. But, we've talked, the other thing, JJ, that we've talked about ad nauseum is the small guard situation at Auburn. Mm-hmm. But think about this. If Chance Westry's on the floor this year, he's 6'6". Mm-hmm. And we're not really talking about that as much.
Right.
It's just one of those things that happen that we can't do anything about.
Sure.
So, but, those small guards play with a lot of heart, that's for sure. Bruce made some interesting quotes last night. He said, even if they didn't respond, I would have understood because they've had so much fatigue. And this is another thing from a coaching standpoint, JJ, you understand this. When you go through the gauntlet that Auburn has gone through and have lost some of those heartbreaking games, not only is a physical fatigue with the schedule coming on to the back end now, but it's a mental fatigue, especially if you're losing some of those.
Well,
games.
that's in any sport. You get in a late game situation and in a tight game, and the first thing that crosses your mind is, oh God, what's going to go wrong now?
Yep.
And instead of what do we need to do to make this play?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Instead you start worrying about what bad thing is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that can be a thing that really you see it in football. How many times do you see a team that loses 3 or 4 really close games in football, and it just seems like at the end of games they just almost are expecting something bad to happen.
Yeah. I call that it's kind of the analogy from the beautiful movie The Replacements.
Yeah.
Stepping in the quicksand.
Yeah.
I mean, you just what else can go wrong? But he was very complimentary of Ira Bowman and Mike Burgermeister for putting together a great game plan. And when you think about it, JJ, Missouri was averaging, 82 points a game. and we held them to 56. I mean, that's almost 30 points below their average. They just really couldn't put the ball in the basket last night. And we felt their pain on that before. But, you know, that Neville Arena was rocking last night. It's a tough environment to play in. And, you know, the other thing that Bruce made a point of was that one of their weaknesses is rebounding because they're a little undersized. They like to shoot three. We did a great job. 2 games in a row, we've done a really, really good job of taking away the 3-point. I mean, Kobe Brown, did he score in the first half? If he did, it was maybe a bucket.
Like I said, and then on Saturday, 24. Brandon Miller was 0 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
You know,
6 for 21 for Alabama from 3 Saturday. So, and they normally shoot a little better than that.
They normally shoot a little more than that.
Yeah.
Normally they're in the 30s on the attempts.
That's right. Well,
too,
you know, it was Coach Gates. They call it the shell defense. I mean, you're basically in a shell on the perimeter, just in those guys' jocks, making sure they're not being able to get the open looks. And that worked again last night. It didn't work against Alabama, well, because, as Brett pointed out, we continued to miss some open shots. But Nate Oates did a fantastic job Saturday of taking advantage of some things in the paint because of the defense that we chose to play Saturday. And that's a sign of a good coach and a good game plan. And we'll all watch that with interest tonight as we go forward. So last night, let's see, Vanderbilt 75, South Carolina 64. I'm going to say it again. I loved Frank Martin. I want to call South Carolina and say, you fired Frank for this? I mean, I'm a Frank Martin guy. I love him. And I think he's having a pretty good year at UMass. And Missouri and Auburn, and then, goodness gracious, LSU. Just started out gangbusters and just dropped off the face of the earth now. Georgia, 2-point win. Where was that game? Was that game?
It was at Georgia.
In Athens. Okay. All right. So, and then tonight now, a slate of 4. I think all of these, well, the first one, but the other 3, you got Ole Miss at Florida.
Ole Miss is just bad.
They are.
They're really bad.
They really are. I talked to some Ole Miss folks when we were in Oxford for the Auburn Ole Miss game, and this might be it for Kermit Davis. And he's an excellent coach. It's just they're not getting it done. Alabama.
The other three games though: Alabama at Tennessee, Kentucky at Mississippi State, Arkansas at Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I could see the road team winning all 3 of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I could see now. They probably won't. I don't think all 3 road teams will win, but Alabama's capable of winning at Tennessee. Kentucky's certainly capable of winning at the hump, and Arkansas, the way they're playing most of the last couple of weeks, they're capable of going into A&M and winning. So.
Alabama will win tonight.
You think
will.
So?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think it will be fairly handily. You're right about Kentucky at Mississippi State. Buzz Williams, man, the buzz factor, that will be the toughest one for the road.
It will, but this time of year is when Musselman's teams, they tend to win these kind of games. And then they go into the SEC tournament hot as a firecracker. Yeah. I don't know how he does it every year, but he comes into tournament time hot.
They do.
You know, and,
they do. Sure do.
He does a great job of that.
Well, we'll be back after this next break. Thank you for tuning in to the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back in a little bit.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
No monthly payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs discounted up to $7,500 off. The midsize Chevrolet Malibus up to $5,250 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. That's my Andy impression right there, JJ. Letting the W roll for a few minutes. Praying for Andy. Hope he gets back with us soon. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors, Russell Do-It Center, Big Fish Real Estate Mortgage Pro, and J. Smith Construction, our newest big-time corporate sponsor.
I never got a chance to ask you, David, and this is where we'll go off topic here a little bit.
Let's do it.
What'd you think of the Super Bowl?
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Was it about what you expected?
Yes. Maybe I didn't expect quite as much from a total points standpoint. Mm-hmm. I was kind of, and I told Randy this. You know, I'm an Auburn fan through and through. You know that. Yeah. But I like Jalen Hurts. He's just a classy kid. Kid.
I mean, how can you not respect what he's done?
Absolutely, especially with his passing game. And when they drove down the field and stuck the ball up Kansas City's rear end on that first drive,
right?
I said, wow. And, you know, people want to magnify that last call. You know,
look, It was the correct call.
The guy admitted it.
The guy even said
said, "I
after the
grabbed
game,
his jersey."
I tugged his jersey. I was hoping they'd let it slide.
That's right.
And I understand because sometimes late game they'll let that kind of thing slide, but you can't argue it wasn't the correct call. You could argue, oh, you don't call that late in the game, I guess, if you want to, but it's the correct call.
It was.
Here's what I thought going into the game. We had some folks over at the house Sunday for the game, and we were talking about it beforehand. Somebody said, well, what do you think is going to happen? I said, well, number one, I saw the over-under this morning at 51, and I couldn't jump on the over fast enough. So I figured these two teams are going to score points.
Yeah.
But two, and it was a race, right? It was both teams are like, we got to get to 35, got to get to 35, got to get, But the only thing that didn't surprise me about it, and was exactly what I thought was, I thought Philadelphia overall has a better team, better roster, better players, better team. But the best player in the world wears number 15 in white. Patrick Mahomes is the best football player on the planet. And here's the thing with Patrick Mahomes. He's 6 years into his career, 5 years now as a starter. He's got 2 MVPs and 2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
There are 4 quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League that have 2 MVPs and at least 2 Super Bowl wins. Brady, Manning, Montana, and Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's it. And I feel like, this is what I was telling somebody the other night after the game, I feel like I'm watching Michael Jordan 5 years into his NBA career. When he first came along, high-flying, super athletic, and you're like, wow, this guy's unbelievable. Same thing everybody said about Mahomes those first couple of years, right? Unbelievable skill. What we found out over these last 3 or 4 years, he's also the toughest, most competitive, refuses to lose.
Yeah.
He's a guy, you give him the ball with 5 minutes left in the game and he's within a score, you're toast.
Yeah.
And he is turning into a Michael Jordan type quarterback at the NFL level. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's he is, and here's the thing. I didn't know, I don't think any of us really knew how healthy was his ankle coming into the Super Bowl. Tweaked it again during the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what they shot him up with at the half, but he's a refuse to lose kind of guy. And here's the other thing I was talking to Randy about. Think of all the years he possibly has left in his career.
Yep.
What will he do going down the stretch? It's unbelievable. And
he's got his second contract now, so he's been paid, right? That's part of the reason Tyreek Hill's no longer there. You can't afford to keep, when the Eagles have to pay Jalen Hurts here in a couple of years, they're not going to be able to have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown on the outside. When the Bengals have to pay Joe Burrow, you're not going to be able to afford to have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the outside.
Right.
And Mahomes has now proven that he can do it with a roster that had to be scrambled a little bit to get under the salary cap. So
$64 million question, JJ. Will Andy Reid retire?
How old is Andy Reid now? 65, right?
Yeah, he's right around in there.
I think he's something like that. I don't know. I mean, I think, look, if you're a quarterback guy like Andy Reid is, and you get to coach the best quarterback in the game, and you're winning,
and if you feel good,
why
in the world go?
Why would you go fish every day?
Yeah,
I mean,
I totally agree. He's phenomenal. The other player that really stuck out to me that everybody talks about Kelsey, and rightfully so, but that big tight end for the Eagles,
Dallas Goedert,
man, he's a baller.
Yeah. I mean, and then Devontae Smith, still amazing to me because he's as big around as your pinky finger.
Yeah.
But the guy catches anything within his radius. You know what I mean? He's going to catch it.
Fantastic.
If he gets his hand on it, it's caught.
Absolutely. Luke chimed in, and I agree with you, Lucas. The star ranking is more important in football to me. In hoops, you never know if 5 stars will buy into the system because they could be a one and done. Not all 5 stars are as committed to the team as Jabari Smith or Brandon Miller. That's true. Most of these guys that have been on the AAU circuit, they've been away from home, and you would think that as many coaches and resource personnel, support staff at these colleges that we have, that it'd be a pretty easy transition, but it's not always. There's always a few that just.
Well, and that star system for the most, it's obviously it's based on production, but there's a great deal of it that's based on God-given ability, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't make you 6'9", 210, with speed and agility.
Yeah.
So that's some of it. So I think Luke's right. Probably a little more important in football because that frame matters so much.
It's hilarious, though, the way, like John I. Broom was 5'11" as a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen with these kids. It's crazy.
Michael Jordan, I think, was 6 feet as a freshman when he got cut from his high school basketball team.
Yep.
Winds up 6'6".
Yeah.
Pretty good shape.
Absolutely. Well, time for another break here on the Auburn Blitz. I've got a big announcement about tomorrow's show. We have a special guest coming in tomorrow, so stay tuned. I'll tell you who that is when we get back.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
LMG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
WAXC TV3's Basketball Game of the Week is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC on the Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Catch game replays on WAXC TV3 and on our Roku app. Games replay Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. and also Saturday and Sunday at 6:30. Catch the replays of these games airing now from Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika and WAXC TV3.
Welcome back to the Auburn Blitz. Ty Sanders saying, I think KD looked like the old KD last night. What are the chances of Auburn getting to play in Birmingham in the first 2 rounds of the tournament? That's all going to depend on that seed probably, you know, and the higher the better.
Let's talk about what the committee's not going to do. If Alabama finishes the year strong and gets that 1 seed in the South region is playing in Birmingham, they're not going to put Auburn in the
No, they absolutely are not. They absolutely are not. And so, and that's a distinct possibility. And in that fashion, I would say it's probably not a very good chance that Auburn will be in Birmingham. That would be awesome. But if Alabama's in Birmingham, I mean, order your tickets now. There's not going to be very many available. I said before the break, we've got a special guest coming on tomorrow. I spoke with Coach Butch Thompson yesterday, and he has graciously accepted to come on the Blitz tomorrow right after the first break, 12:15. He's got a TV interview that morning. He's got a conference media commitment at 1, and then they open on Friday. So we're catching him the day before the baseball opener. So tomorrow, right after the first break, we'll have Coach Butch Thompson on the show, and I'm going to obviously ask him about some of the new faces that we can look forward to seeing, because I just totally drew a blank the other day with Randy. I know who all the old guys are, but you know, there's some new guys that we want to know about. So we're looking forward to Coach Butch being on the show tomorrow. All right, real quick, JJ, let's talk about this. You know, the news came down the pike last week about Texas and Oklahoma coming on into the league early, and we had all thought that was not going to happen, and at a $100 million price tag between the two of them.
Right.
And now we read that the Southeastern Conference just distributed $50 million each to all 14 members for just this fiscal year. So, you know, a 1 year's
and ask yourself this question: you add Oklahoma and Texas, how much is that number going up?
Absolutely.
You know,
that's absolutely right. It was $698.5 million distributed by the league office and $23.3 million retained by schools for travel and other bowl-related expenses. Those were the amounts from 21-22 fiscal. You know, and we took a hit during COVID. You know, that was a deal. But man, it's only going to get better. Here's the thing that I was asking Randy about. I'd love your take on this. How would you like to be the guy in the conference that has to be in charge of the retooling the scheduling?
Well, yeah, but the thing they got to do is, first thing they got to do is figure out how you're going to structure the league.
Divisions, yeah.
Are you going to stay in 2 divisions? I don't think that's workable myself.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to go to either pods, which has been talked about with 4-team pods, right?
Yeah.
Or you go with no divisions, and it's just straight up and down. You get 3 permanent opponents and rotate the other 6, probably go in the 9 conference games.
Yeah.
So, you know, the interesting thing is going to be, if you're the Big Ten adding UCLA and USC, you're the SEC, you're adding Oklahoma and Texas, particularly on the SEC side. You're going to a 12-team playoff. Is an 8-4 SEC team any worse than a 10-2 Big 12 team at that point? I mean, if you've got a 10-2 non-conference champion Big 12 team, let's say Baylor, right? And then you've got a LSU who goes 8-4 with, say, losses to Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, and Texas. 3 of those on the road, right?
Yeah.
You know, whose resume is better?
You saw what happened this year with TCU.
Yeah.
Obviously, the answer to your question from us homers would be an SEC team at 8-4, obviously.
I think as the committee starts to decide on those 12 teams, right? And the first 8 are probably going to be really easy.
Yeah.
The last 4 won't be. And so I think strength of schedule is going to have to become a more important determinative factor.
Yeah.
As you're looking at those teams, because what you don't want to do is go, well, we need to reward Southern Miss. They went 11-1, and we'll put them in as the 12 over, say, a 9-3 Auburn team, right? You don't want to get into those situations.
There's going to be some. I said that there wouldn't be, but I'm probably going to change my mind. In the first round, you're probably going to have some games that are
snoozers.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, JJ. I love your take on this, because we're big with the natural rivalries in the conference. Okay, if you only have the 3 permanent conference games, it's going to be interesting to see how the permanent natural rivalries are protected, or which ones go. The new ones, obviously, you've got A&M chomping at the bit maybe to play Texas and Oklahoma. Maybe they're not, but that's going to be interesting to me to see how they work all that out.
Yeah, and on the rivalry thing, if you're taking 3 permanents, most schools you can pick 2, right? I mean, if you're putting together Alabama's 3 permanent, it's going to be Auburn, Tennessee, and somebody. If you're putting together Auburn's, it's going to be Georgia, Alabama, and somebody. Yeah. Most schools are going to have 2, and then the third one. Maybe you look at the difficulty level of the other 2 before you decide on that third one, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're Auburn, and you're going to play Alabama and Georgia every year, your third one you're like, hey, Vandy's a really important rival to us, But you want that third permanent game to maybe ease up a little bit.
No, absolutely. Yeah. We'll take Vanderbilt.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of the way you. But I don't think we're going to lose any natural round. That's one reason why I think the 14 pods make sense. Because to me, if you go out west end of the conference, and you put LSU, A&M, Texas, and Oklahoma in a pod, right?
Or Arkansas.
And then you move Oklahoma into a pod with Missouri and maybe Tennessee and Vandy, right?
Yeah.
And you got your Alabama, your Auburn, your Georgia, your South Carolina, whatever.
Yeah.
You could do that, and you would have the 3 permanent opponents that sit right there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. See how they.
I can't wait to see the schedule when it comes out.
It's going to be awesome. Well, we're down to our last break today on the Blitz, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to finish the show up.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Attention! Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? You may be entitled to compensation. Call Zantac Justice now for a free legal case review. The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug ranitidine may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Consult your physician prior to discontinuing any use of medication.
Please call 800-379-5986.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
Welcome back to the Auburn Blitz today. David Jones and J.J. Jeffcoat with you today. And in other news, 6-time NBA champion Michael Jordan is celebrating his 60th birthday on Friday. He's making a $10 million donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It is the largest donation ever received from an individual in the organization's 43-year history. That's a great organization.
Yeah.
And
Good for Michael.
Michael's got a little money.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. You know, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I think
he'll make the mortgage.
And then once again, before we get into our trivia and our birthdays, and I'm glad that Andy told us who some of these people are, because some of them I don't know. But tonight, if you don't have anything to do, I'm going to be playing again tonight at the Marriott Grand National in Opelika, but they've got TVs all over the room, so I'll get to multitask tonight. But Ole Miss at Florida is on the SEC Network, Alabama, Tennessee on ESPN2, Kentucky and Mississippi State at the doubleheaders. That one following Ole Miss, and then Arkansas, Texas. So I'd have the television on ESPN2 most of the night there,
Yeah,
JJ.
Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, A&M should both be.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Yeah, and you know, we're down here to the end of this, and of course Auburn follows up at, well, I don't think we'll talk about at Vandy
Saturday.
Who knows?
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Because as I said before, I'm one of those people that believe Vandy is better than their record.
Yeah.
And so if you're not on top of your game, you know, just watch out. Vandy can bite you, but hopefully, you know, if Auburn plays well, they should win the game.
You know, Memorial Gym's a weird place to play anyway, where it's configured, but. And Jerry Stackhouse has said, look, I love my guys. I wouldn't trade them. You know, some good things are going to happen for us. And so, you know, we'll watch that game with interest. That's going to be anytime you go on the road, but it's going to be a tricky game. All right, on this day, you and I were talking about this off the air, 1991, Troy State which is now Troy University, sets NCAA Division II record with 103 points in the second half, routing DeVry 187-117.
I was at that game as a young junior at Troy State University at the time, and yeah.
Don Maestri.
Don Maestri, yeah, and they, I mean, they played it, it's not like they invented it, right? It was straight out of the Loyola Marymount, playbook of basketball, but he wanted one pass and a shot on every possession.
And not necessarily a layup. Let's shoot.
No. Wherever you catch it, one pass and a shot every time.
And then they set the overall points record, I think, in that same year or close when they played that other team that was doing the exact same thing they were. I can't remember that school, but that was crazy. 1996, the Browns fire Bill Belichick with a record of 36-44. So location.
Location, but remember this, in 94, the Browns had a heck of a team.
Yeah.
And then in 95, remember, you had the work stoppage and the strike and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of, and then Art Modell in 96 was moving the team to Baltimore anyway. So,
right.
That's an interesting 30 for 30 if you ever get a chance to watch that about the 94 Cleveland Browns.
I'll have to do that.
That's a really good one.
1998, Dale Earnhardt wins his only Daytona 500. I don't keep up with racing that much, but
I don't either.
That's interesting. He only won one.
Yep.
All right, happy birthday today to John Barrymore, died in 1942. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He would be kin to Drew Barrymore?
I'm assuming, yes.
Think that's father?
I think that's that could be grandfather.
Yeah.
If he died in 42.
42,
she wouldn't have been born in
42. That's right. Grandfather for sure. Cesar Romero, who always creeped me out as the Joker on the Batman TV show. Harvey Korman.
One of the absolute funniest human beings I've ever seen in my life.
JJ, I know you watched them. Blazing Saddles, Carol Burnett show with Tim Conway.
Tim Conway.
We talk about Saturday Night Live, people not being able to hold character. Yeah. I can remember so many Carol Burnett shows where these guys were cracked. They just couldn't finish.
Corman would do the straight man thing, and then Tim Conway was just an idiot.
Man.
But yeah, those were great also. And also, interestingly enough, one of my favorite all-time Mel Brooks movies, History of the World Part 1.
Yeah.
Harvey Korman is in that.
Yeah.
And they now, 40 years later, have made a History of the World Part 2.
Is that right?
That is coming out soon.
Wow. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Jane Seymour. Oh, they're also making another, is it Indiana Jones?
They are, yeah.
Some things
I think it's Indiana and the Cradle of the Nursing Home.
I mean, do we mess with some things? I mean, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
However, I will say Top Gun Maverick was pretty stinking good.
Yeah.
Jane Seymour, lovely Dr. Quinn medicine woman, 1951. She's still with us. Darryl Green, you remember him, Hall of Fame cornerback?
For many years, the fastest man in the NFL.
Absolutely. And one of the funniest human beings in the history of the world, tragically left us way early, Chris Farley, living in a van down by the river.
To all of you who use that, living in a van down by the river and don't know who it is, look up Chris Farley. And you'll understand.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable! Yeah, the one in the living room with David Spade. Oh gosh, incredible. Mark Price, I always loved him. What a pure shot.
Yeah, and he was on some of those great Cavaliers teams with Brad Daugherty, if you remember.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
Those were good Cavalier teams.
Yeah,
you had a lot of. That was an era where you had a lot of good teams, really good teams, that just couldn't quite get over the hump. Portland Trail Blazers with Clyde Drexler and those guys for.
Good teams, but there were some elite teams that you just
you weren't getting past Detroit or L.A. or Boston or Chicago.
No,
right?
That's correct.
Yep.
Jaromir Jagr, is that correct pronunciation there?
Jagr.
Hall of Fame in NHL right winger, and Seattle Slew's birthday today, Triple Crown winner. Seattle Slew was pretty quick.
Yeah. Horse, right?
Horse.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yep. For JJ, I'm David Jones. Thank y'all for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with our special guest, Coach Butch Thompson of the Auburn Tiger baseball team. So long, everybody.